Hello everybody, I'm here in Hanoi and I am recording in Cafe 14, which is a new cafe that I found not far from my apartment. And it's a very nice place. The owners are vegetarians and they're Buddhists. And they serve a lot of good vegetarian food, which I'm not getting today for some reason, but I am here for some cafe denda, some iced coffee, iced black coffee. And I just wanted to record a quick video here. It's a very good place to record because of this painting right behind me, which depicts Hanoi in the old days, is what I was told. But it's a very nice painting, and I wanted to do my next video in front of that. To begin with, I've still been studying Vietnamese and trying to work on it every single day, and for an hour or more if I can, but I can't always manage that much. And I know a few hundred words now, but there are different levels to knowing words. In the same way, it reminds me of studying Chinese, where I could know what a character looked like and recognize a certain character and maybe know its meaning and maybe know the letters that make up the pinyin for the word, but still not know how to pronounce it. Or I might know a different combination of those sorts of things. Like I might know how it's said, I know which of the four tones you are using, but I would not know the writing for it, so I might not know the characters. So in learning Chinese, when I tried to sit down towards the end of my year there and count how many characters I actually knew, I ended up with several piles, including some that I knew the character, but I did not know how to say it. I knew kind of how to say it, but I did not know the intonation, things like that. And with Vietnamese, it's not quite as pronounced because they use a Romanized alphabet, so I'm able to figure that out. I mean, if I can read the word, it's a good chance that I know what it is, and I know at least in my head how I'm supposed to say it, but I'm still working with certain consonant combinations, like the NG they put at the beginnings of words, whereas in English we put it at the ends of words, so it's very hard to come up with ng at the start of a word. Otherwise, in terms of studying Vietnamese, I'm looking at a pronoun system and honorific system, which is very complicated and what scared me away from really getting to conversational level in Korean or in Chinese, because you have to use certain words depending on your gender and the gender of the person that you're talking to, and also depending on age, which is a little more extreme than Korean or Japanese, where yeah, you do change according to age and there are some gender rules. But like the phrase "I love you" in Korean, "salang hae," is always just "salang hae," whereas the words in Vietnamese change depending on if it's male speaking to female and vice versa. And there might be some age rule associated with that as well. So I'm learning a lot of those, and I mean with pronouns and so on, like I've studied German, and with a lot of European languages, pronouns change according to gender, and there are certain rules for denoting object, like there are gender neutral and female male objects, for example. But so I have a little bit of awareness of that, and I know a little bit from studying Korean and Chinese that the rules can be very specific, but at the same time, with beginners, people are quite forgiving. The trick is you have to know how to pronounce the really meaningful parts of the sentence, and that's where I often struggle. Even if I know how the word is written and I know in my head how I'm supposed to say it, it still comes out wrong. But to learn a language, you have to make hundreds and thousands of mistakes, and maybe that's true for anything. To learn anything, you have to make many, many mistakes, and as the great musician Miles Davis said, Do not fear mistakes because there are none. Moving on, I want to talk about my experience teaching Vietnamese children, and I'm not going to talk specifically about my job or the curriculum or any of that, but I am going to talk about how Vietnamese children differ a little bit from Chinese children or Korean children or the American children that I've taught. And many of them I've found can be a little reluctant with games, in the sense that I had one student this morning who did not quite know how to do paper, rock, scissors. And I found that kind of weird because I hadn't encountered that before. And so there's less pressure for them, I think, to get up and really participate, even if they're shy. Whereas I think with my Chinese students, a lot of them were only children, and they loved getting a chance to just shine and compete and get angry and cry. And so a lot of the games that I really perfected working with Chinese students, I haven't quite translated to Vietnamese students yet, but I am experimenting every day, and that's part of the fun of teaching jobs, is that you get to try new things and build your repertoire, find out what works with certain groups, and I'm still trying to figure out what games and activities I can use as parts of my lessons to really get the kids having fun and get them motivated. So I don't want to incriminate myself by saying too much about the Vietnamese people, because I do not have a very good understanding yet at this point, especially in Hanoi, where you get so many different types of people, and I don't want to fall into the trap of looking at culture and just coming up with stereotypes. But I have noticed a certain shift in personality from Vietnamese children. After the last time I taught young children was in China, so I do see a very clear difference in the way the group is thinking, the way that my classrooms are thinking. So, moving on, I just wanted to finish up by saying hello to President Obama, who's on his way here to Vietnam, which is really cool. I still have a video of me at an Obama rally back in 2008, and this was in Eau Claire, and I remember the night before the rally, I was up all night with my friends, and we had gone to see the Rocky Horror Picture Show, the midnight showing, and we were just partying, and that didn't even, it didn't start till midnight, and so we were partying before and afters. And I woke up at my friend's apartment at 11 a.m. and I was like, oh man, I was going to try to see Obama, and I ended up going anyway, but being at the very end of the line. The stadium was full and I couldn't get in to see him, but he came out to see those of us who couldn't get inside, and so I got to stand real close to him and even got to shake his hand. And a video of that later emerged on YouTube, and I've shown that to classes all over the world. It's been fun to show me standing right next to Obama. And I'm not very political, and honestly, I didn't even vote for him because I was in Korea at the time, and I couldn't figure out absentee voting. But it was like a celebrity moment that I really enjoyed, and it's nice having video evidence of that, being able to show that to my students. But anyway, I probably won't see him again while he's here, but I just wanted to say hello to the president. And I've somewhat been following the American politics, and it looks like Donald Trump is the front runner of the GOP, which is pretty amazing. And seeing Ted Cruz drop out was surprising, especially considering that was after Boehner called him Lucifer. And I remember Boehner was Speaker of the House, and he stepped down after seeing the Pope, and so there was a lot of weird kind of religious stuff going around this GOP process. So I don't quite understand how all of it works, and I don't claim to, but it has been interesting seeing it from a distance. And when I was back in the States over the winter, I really did pay attention to a lot of the uh, to to the political process as it was unfolding, because it was quite entertaining. And I'm a little bit embarrassed by that, because I see, especially in like Donald Trump's comments about minorities and women, like just a dumbing down of my country, which I guess has been going on for a long time. But I guess I'm allowed to say bad things because I'm from there. But I hear bad things about America all the time, and I don't really mind it that much. I did hear one interesting stereotype about America, or a comment, I guess, about Americans at work this morning. And I wanted to close with that, just sharing that. But my Kiwi coworker said that she liked to say, or said that Americans like to say that they're Scottish when they don't have any relatives in Scotland. But it's like they do it as sort of an ancestry thing. And she noticed that with Australians too. This Australian said to her, "Well, yeah, my family is English." And she's just thinking, no shit, that's where you guys all came from. And I laugh at that because I've been guilty of that too. Because I don't know what it is. We try to categorize ourselves according to whatever country or ancestry or whatever. I think we feel a little bit misplaced in our homes, whether it's Australia or North America. We feel we're not quite indigenous, and so we have to cling to that. But, to hear that pointed out to me was kind of funny. And to break from stereotypes, I am going to stop saying that to people, and I'm going to recognize that as an American thing. So, but anyway, Uncle Sam, nothing against you. You're great. Welcome, Obama. I hope you have a great time. And if Obama's anything like me, he won't want to leave. But he's very busy with, making the Oval Office nice for Trump or whoever, I guess. So, good luck, America. See you later.